Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new update on the daily thumbnail challenge. This week I tried to do steampunk thumbnails because of a suggestion in the YouTube comments. Thank you for the suggestion, by the way. It's something that I never really did before and I don't really have experience in. So I googled a bit for steampunk pictures and I tried to draw inspiration from them. The thumbnails are quite rough, but that's of course the idea of a thumbnail. But I think I'm getting, although in the end the results are still quite rough, I'm getting more experienced at them. Um, it's a good thing, I guess. And in this video, I also kept a few. This week, I kept a few thumbnails black and white. I thought, you know what, they don't necessarily need color. So it gave me a little bit more time to work on the details, but overall, it gave me some nice ideas, and that's what this is all about. It's about the ID generation. My voice is a bit off because I have a cold, so sorry for that. I'm gonna try to to keep talking through the entire video. Luckily for us, it's not that long. It's about 8 minutes long, so I think we can pull through. So this one, I started with the idea of an airship, a little bit inspired on a dragonfly, and I thought, well, let's hook it up to a building, like the old helium airships, the zeppelins. They all docked on skyscrapers, if I recall correctly, which was really cool actually to think about it. That they're really dangerous because of all the helium. I think the concept was really cool back then. And this second one, I wanted to do a sort of a dock scene with a river flowing through the city. In the end, I wasn't really happy with this one. I think the idea could be quite cool, but I didn't. I think I was too rough in the beginning, and so yeah, the idea didn't really quite work out the way I wanted it. I also decided to draw a city on the foreground because I wanted to have some content on the foreground, which in the end is okay. But for the thumbnail, I probably should have done something to do it a little bit quicker, because this is of course sped up quite a bit. But in the end, I think I took 20 minutes total. This one, I think this one took the longest of all because I spent quite some time drawing all this rough stuff in. And the thing is, it takes a bit of time and it doesn't really look that great. So I think in the end, it would have been better if I just hadn't done it. Maybe used some other method to get the idea of detail in the foreground. But on the other hand, never mind. I did it. I think I got the idea across for myself. I could spend a little bit more time on it and make it fairly decent. I think the idea is that this is some sort of a river through a city with a boat that's getting maintained or something. This one is a little bit different. I decided to use a photo base. This is, I think, the Saint Peter Cathedral in Rome. Not sure, but I decided, you know what, this is a bit of the building style, maybe a little bit. It's a little bit different than Victorian era building style, but still, I thought this could be a good base for some indoor stuff, maybe some steampunk robot. So I grabbed that as a sort of as a template to use for the robot painting. So that one was really quick, and I enjoyed that one actually quite a bit. I think I could have done a little bit more work on it, but I think you can make it fairly cool. Maybe the robot is a bit far away, a bit zoomed out, but if we were to crop it a little bit, and the other end, it gives a nice overview of the entire thing. maybe I can do something with that in the future, because I think that's the one that I liked the most. I think this one is the one I liked the least. I really didn't have any clue what I wanted to do for this one, and so I started with some random shapes, and I thought, you know what, we're gonna figure something out. And there's a lot of smoke and some chimneys, but that's about it. I decided, you know what, let's add in some airships. It maybe gives a little bit of an idea of the world that this is set in, but it's a bit too generic, I think. It could be anything, really. It could be just a city. So this one, I had a somewhat a better plan. I thought, you know what about a steampunk submarine? So I planned out didn't plan it out. Instead of a dry dock where there sits a submarine and all working on it. In the end, the result was still really rough, because I didn't really want to spend more time on it. Because if I do, sometimes you have a good idea, you want to spend more time on it, but for the sake of the video, you don't, because I want to keep the video sort of nice and short. But this is definitely a scene that we might turn into a somewhat more refined painting in the future. And that's also what this series is all about, generating those ideas and thinking, you know what, I could make a really nice painting out of this. So it looks a little bit like a generic submarine, but the idea with the giant chimneys are sort of that it is steam powered somehow. So that's the idea, and if you were to sort of work on that idea a little bit more, I think it could be quite nice. So and here we are already at the last one. I think I spent a little bit less time with these than I did with the ones from last week. So overall, the time was slightly less. I think on average I spent 15 minutes per thumbnail. I decided, let's do a sort of a city scene. This is more of a sort of a spookier scene, not necessarily steampunk. But I think it I don't know, it has maybe some overlap with the steampunk, a little bit of lyric energy. I don't know, it's sort of a Victorian era style stuff. And I had this green photograph of the Aurora Borealis, I think is the right term, Northern Light. And I thought, you know what, this is kind of cool color-wise. So this is it. Here you can see the end result of the paintings. I hope you enjoyed them. And if you have suggestions for a new subject, please let me know in the comments. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.